So when you take delivery of your home energy hub, it looked like this. I'm just going to run through a startup procedure for you, just so you're comfortable of how to connect it, how to hook it up. It'll look like this. Obviously the batteries won't be in it because they're very heavy. The batteries will have come on a separate pallet. So we've actually already put the batteries in. You'll need 2 men to do it. It's pretty heavy. You'll notice that the batteries are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so just put them in that order. Also, all of the cables have tags on them, and the labels on the cables will match a number on the terminal, so you can't get it wrong. Okay, it's pretty easy to do. When you've got the batteries installed, it's a good idea if you've got just a cheap DC volt tester from J-Car or somewhere like that, just to test your voltage. And this is our positive leg coming up off the batteries. There's our negative leg, and you'll notice in this case we've got 26 volts positive. So this is our positive side. Okay, so then we know that's correct. Now the first thing to do to start it up is to put in what we call our midpoint fuses. And these fuses are designed to just fire up the capacitors inside the SP Pro. So there's little wires from here going down onto the batteries, and one's on negative, one's on positive 24, and one's midpoint at 12 volts. So all you need to do is just pop those fuses in before you do anything else, and after you've checked the polarity here. Now you'll notice that it'll fire up in a second. Some lights will come on, and it will also alarm. It'll tell you that it doesn't have its 240 volt connected. So just switch off the alarm because it will get a little bit annoying. So now we've just got some indicator lights on. Okay, you can hear it's still not happy. So we close the battery disconnector over, and just hold your finger down on the on button, the inverter on button. And you'll notice a little blue light will come on there. There we go. So right now you have 240 volts coming over to your DC switchboard. So now we can switch on the AC switchboard. Now we can switch on the board, like so. And you can test that you've got some voltage here with some testers, or just simply a little loader. In this case it's a heat gun. So now you've got a load on. Now it's very important that once the power's on, is just to set the time on your PL60. So, which is pretty easy to do, because every time you open up the battery disconnector, the time will go out. So we just go through the time, and we just go through, just scroll through until you see the word set. Hold your finger down on set, and see how it says time come up here. Now it's 0 time means 12 o'clock last night. It goes around in intervals of 10, so when we go to 1, that'll be 1 o'clock in the morning, but there's 10 spaces between 12 and 1. So for example, here it's 9 o'clock. Oh, just let me go back there again. Oh. For example, here it's 9 AM, so just hold a finger down on set. Now hold your finger down on time, and it'll flash. So just go around, let's go 9 AM. Just keep clicking until it goes around. When you get to 9 AM, then we just hold our finger down. And we're nearly there. Nearly there. Coming around 9 AM. There we go. And it's done. Also it says 24 volt. We've already set these parameters, so it shouldn't change, but just check. It's a 24 volt system, it says 24 volts there. We've set this on program 4, and that's it. So just keep clicking around until you get back to, you're in the main menu area there now. And you can see there it says 26 volts. You can see there we have no charge, we have no input here yet. So we're about to show you how to hook up an input. Okay, so by now you probably will have wired the solar array on the roof. If you haven't, it's time to get started. But in all cases they're slightly different. In this particular case we have a 2 kilowatt array on the roof. We have 4 inputs here. So we'll have 3 modules on one input, 3 modules on number 2 input, 3 modules on number 3 input, and 1 module on number 4 input. So what we do is just simply, once it's wired up the top, just plug in your first cable that comes down from the roof. And you'll notice here there's a DC array isolator. Okay, so you can just switch on the isolator like so, and just, that's array 1, it says array 1 there on the label, and that's array 1. Just watch your charge. At the moment it's showing no charge up on the PL60. If we close it over, now look at the PL60, we can see 6.4 amps of charge coming in. Okay, so then open that one up, charge goes off, move along to your next, your next set of cables, plug them in to array 2, push on array 2 and you'll see you've got charge from array 2. Get your next set of cables, plug them into array 3, like so, push on array 3, and there you go, we've got charge. The reason for doing that is to make sure that you've wired up correctly each string cable on your roof. So each set of cables that comes down, if you see a charge, particularly where 3 modules are connected together and the charge is similar, then you know you've connected all your modules and you don't have any loose connections. You'll notice that we've got some 24 volt takeoffs here on the board for you in case you've got any 24 volt equipment on site, perhaps a little water pump or something like that. The SP Pro has been pre-programmed for you and we will have got those parameters off you, particularly the size of your generator. Speaking of generator, if you find that your charge has gone down because you've had a few days of cloudy weather and you feel as though you need to plug in your gen set, we've set it up for you, so just start up your generator, just plug it in the side there, and you'll notice in a minute that we've got a blue light comes on, which means that the SP Pro has recognised an AC source, and in a moment it's gone to transfer, so it's transferring across to your load, your house load, and simultaneously it's charging the batteries at the same time. So you've got 2 things happening. It's supplying your house load and charging the batteries. So you just do that if you need to. Now, we put an indicator light on all our systems, just here on the side, and the whole idea of that is that if your battery state of charge gets down to 70%, the light will come on, and it will go off when it's up at 80%. That's not a panic button. It's just simply an indicator so you know where your battery state of charge is, and just a visual indicator. So if this was 5 o'clock at night and that red light came on, you might think to yourself, well, it's been a cloudy day, we'll start the generator for an hour or so, just to lift up the batteries. But if it was 9 o'clock in the morning and the light was on and you've got a sunny day ahead of you, well, there's no point in charging up with your generator, because it's most likely not likely going to charge up from the available sunshine. So that's your home energy hub all ready to go. I'm sure it'll go well for you.